All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going up against GT40. I will be bringing in CGR, Void, and Mantis. We have 8 fights, 5 of which are with CGR. Now, we're going up against GT. Okay, they are the fastest alliance. Nobody's faster than them. They are. Now, we got to hope they make mistakes and, don't fumble the bag. That's what this war comes down to. So, will we fumble the bag? If your answer is absolutely, that's exactly right. I'm kidding. Kind of. Well, this first spot is this Mojo. We're going to be using Void. He's tactic, I'm tactic, we're all tactic. So we're just going to have a good old time. Yeehaw. Once I get 3 debuffs up, I don't really have to worry about whatever that node is. And I did put on an inbound just because this is GT40. I'm not trying to die. So I will waste a lot of boost. And, the margin of error is small here. And so I'm trying to give me as much room as I can. Against this Mojo, all we're going to do is bait down L1s. Like, that's it. Just let him throw the L1s. Because, as you can see, look, I'm not paying attention to the combat prowess node like I should have. So he built up a couple. And I don't want to dex the L2 just in case I miss it. So if I have to block it, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. And I'm a little bit of a wussy, so we're just going to stick down once. Yes, you can take that with however you want. I wanted to use different words, but I feel like you got the message. Anyways, it's not that big of a fight. It's down. So now we're going to go against this spot. We're going to turn on suicides, and we're going to CGR. Yeah, you can tell I've got bigger boost on because it's GT. We're off to a really good start this season, trying to keep it going. Through the first 4 wars, I'm having a decent season. You can see, man, my boost, the amount that I go through this war is wild. I think I used 3 or 4 Power Star 1s and 2 inbounds. I know I used at least 5 great boost. Can't say I'm not a team player. I'm a lot of things. God, am I a lot of things. But you can't say I'm not a team player. So we parry. We're going to get our power gain. Then we're going to get our vigilance. And then we're going to throw the L2. And yeah. He barely survives. The L3 kills. It's that simple. At least this one. I decided to get out of character on some other CGR fights. So now we're turning Suicide to back off because we've got our other Void fight. I had 2 fights with him, one with Mantis. And of course, Mantis is just the Photon boss. So we are going to throw on another inbound. For this Mephisto, it's not needed. It really isn't. Because I even throw on a 33% special 3 boost. This fight, it can easily be done without an inbound. But I wasn't taking chances. It goes back to me being a wuss part. I can't use other words, So I'm going to stick with wuss. Because, in the words of a good friend of mine, Impy, Mama ain't raising no bitch. You feel me? So we're going to stick with wuss. So here we go. We go in. And I start off really slow and passive for some reason. I'm like, yeah. I'm going to spam L1s, try and get them going. And then he gets 4 of his things. So he's gaining power kind of throughout the whole fight. And it's really annoying. But, you know, that's why I have the invuln on. If he wants to get to an L3, hey, more power to you, buddy. Fire it off. I don't care. Doesn't affect me. And he will slowly go down. I know we're not going to beat GT on time. So my point is, look, if we're gonna beat him, it's gonna be by less deaths. So I'm trying not to die. It's crazy how fast GT can be. And yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say about this fight. There really isn't. It's a Void versus Mephisto. It's an ideal matchup. It's dummy proof. That's about it. So now we've got his regen out of the way. And then he'll just tick on down. About a 1.5-minute fight. Longer than it probably should have been. But, hey, it is what it is. So now we get to the CGR fights. 4 straight CGR fights. We heal him up. I do turn on max recoil, max suicides. And honestly, I probably could have taken the spot without recoil and suicides, and saved me a mastery swap. But, whatever. So we do throw on another Power Start 1. I'm going to try and get as many of these as I can. Hopefully, I need to get through 4, but God knows I ain't going to make 4 as much as I check boost and nodes. I ain't going to make 4 fights. There's no way. None. So we go in, same plan. We're just going with a nuke. Power gain, vigilance, L2. See? Power gain. Okay, now we get the vigilance. We get the L2 off with no indestructible. But here, all I had to do was fire off the L3. That was it. But no, what do? Play with fire. He was 1 hit away from going indestructible and at an L3. I don't know what I was thinking. I you know, I'm an idiot. I don't know what to tell you. I tried thinking of an excuse. I really did. I was like, look, I need to get my storage straight before I post this. And yeah, I came up with nothing. I was like, nope, I ain't got nothing. So now we're going against this Shuri. And usually when I see GR this fight, I will not use a Power Start 1, go with the full rotation with the Fate Steel for the regens. But with Shuri, I don't want her going untouchable. So we're just going to nuke it. That's the plan. We're going for the nuke. Here we go. Come on, buddy. You know that Power Start 1 is wasting there, buddy. You're wasting it. Come on. I promise you've taken this fight 100 times. You know the nodes. Yep, come on. They ain't changed. It's start. Start. Nope. You still want to look at it? There goes 45 seconds off that Power Start 1. You want to work on a minute? There we go. So, the same thing here. CGR, power gain, vigilance, L2. Like, that's the plan for the rest of these fights. I'm telling you, man, rank 5 CGR is just a cheat code. It's absurd. You want regens? Fine. Regen. It doesn't matter. I mean, the health pools get bigger, but it just doesn't matter. It kills. So now, we're going to go to an Atuma. Now this has Scared Stiff, Power Focus 2, yada, yada, yada. I don't even know why I look at nodes because they just don't matter. Now I do have a Wags to help me with my parries. And I do have an Odin pre-fight for aptitude. Which I do appreciate Kyle for that. Kyle's the man. I like Kyle. Kyle's a good dude. Telling you, can't nobody place pre-fights like Kyle can. There's just something of, I feel safe when he's placing them. Something about it. Anyways, I'm going to have to Power Start 1 again. And this will be number 3 I do use for. Once I get done checking with the boost, we will get into the fight. I do back in and out just to make sure the wags does place. It's a habit I like to get in. I will go out and in a couple times just to make sure. Because having a wags makes this fight 100 times easier. So that was the important one I wanted. You can see I'm scrolling down. That's what I'm looking at. And of course, I use a power start 1 at the beginning. And then I waste like a minute of it before I get in. Okay, see, we get our parry. We get our power gain. We get our vigilance. I mean, that's why looking at the nodes really just does not matter. I mean, look at this. 1 L2. And he's down to 19%. I mean, nodes just don't matter. It's a 20-second fight. Yep, and that's all that one. Now the last 2 fights is our usual fights of Atom and Photon. I take them every war, every single war. And I have for like this season and last season. I go where they're at. I did use a little bit of energy just to go in and get to this. That way I could keep the power start 1 going. For at least this fight. Jen's going to take that Asman above, and she crushed it. And then I'll take the boss. Yep, so we're going to heal him up. Man, what am I doing? Like, bro. Man. I gotta quit doing these when I'm tired. I just got off like a 17-hour shift. But I wanted to get out there that way I could clear the memory off my phone. Alright, we're getting an Ascended Atom. Wow, okay, big hefty little boy. Oh, golden ass. So there we go, we get the power gain, we get the vigilance, and yeah. Now, you will see me a backup, and I will do a couple hits, just all because of that one fight. I am now paranoid that the L3 won't kill. Now, when I throw the L3, it will fate seal, so he's not going to gain any power. But I'm just, back to the wuss part. Funny how many times I can come back to that in one war vid. Maybe I'm trying to tell myself something. Nah, mom ain't raised no bitch. So, we go into this Photon fight. This one gets a little bit out of hand. Luckily, I was able to keep it in check. I did a terrible job keeping the tranquilize up. So, there is a lot of... Sorry, I had to cut the recording. I leave my kids on for 10 minutes and one comes in with a busted lip. But anyways, where was I? Oh, I do a terrible job keeping the tranquilize up. And you will see here in a minute, she's building her charges. And at one point, she gets into her pure light form. Because I do such a terrible job keeping it up and controlling them. You can see they're slowly getting up. They're now at 5, 6. And they'll slowly make their way up. 7. Because I'm trying to get my mixed emotions up. See, now they're at 8. And I'm pretty sure after I throw this, which pushes her over a bar, she's at 10. See, it triggers. And I'm like, okay, shawty. So now I just hard hold block. I know I'm going to eat up a lot of block damage, but that's fine. I just don't need her to throw it. So I go in and put on my Intimidate, get my charges up, because I know this last L2 is going to kill. And it does. And thank God we get out. Because if she had thrown that L1, I'd have been in trouble. But that was my war, 8 fights. Hey, GG's to GT. You know, they did what they had to do. They won. So we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.